Since our ancestral land has returned to the tribe, we have a place to call home now. You know, it ups our identity because we didn't have nowhere to call home.
That's why like this land is like so important to me, because I'm like more connected to my ancestors and my culture than I've ever really been.
So much has been lost, but there's so much willingness to relearn.
Once they're out here, it seems like they start to feel this is where they belong or this is where they came from, and then they start to ask questions.
I don't think there's ever been a concerted effort like has taken place under the guidance of Matthew and the crew. There's yards all over the community where the people are 100% safer from the next fire.
And I get to learn like more like what the songs are about, what it means to us, why we dance, why we do any of this. I feel like it just gives off like the bigger picture, like what we're doing all this for.
One of the things that is wonderful about Trinity County is we have 4 seasons. So we have summer where everybody's out and you're on the lake and it's hot and you go to the river. And then we roll into fall and it's gorgeous here. The fall sports start, it gets cooler. Then when you roll into winter here, it's magical. Even in the wintertime when we have snow here, our local road department, they do a really good job of plowing the roads, always keeping those roads open as much as possible.
The place is beautiful. Every school district is just full of beauty.
And after school, we usually come outside, so we're like out here in the forest.
There's a lot of wildlife in Trinity County that you can really enjoy. We just had a hawk fly over.
The outdoors are definitely something I think everybody takes advantage of here.
Recognizing that someone might be having thoughts of suicide and asking them openly and directly about suicide and hearing their story. And in that story, there's something that they want to live for. And when we hear that, we build on it. Can we keep you safe for now so that you can have that, go to that, be that, whatever it is? It's introducing a new concept of being safe for now, not forever, just for now. And a lot of times for folks who are thinking about suicide, that's palatable. Yeah, I can keep safe just for now. When I did that intervention for my sister, the thing that was important to her to keep her alive, keep her on this earth, was she wanted 2 cats. I mean, it makes me tear up. It's like, yeah, let's go get them right now. We can do that. So you never know what it's gonna be. The thing is that we have to respect where they're at and what's important to them, even if it seems not important to us.
As LaShawn people, we're not federally recognized and we don't have any land. We've found ourselves homeless in our own homelands.
Acknowledging that there had been a wrong perpetuated on that community generations ago that persists to this day, what could the mayor do, what could the city of Oakland do to try to help restore the damage that had been done?
What about if we give you some land?
But it was so hard and it took so long.
Because this is the first time that this was going to happen, that a city was going to return land to a non-federally recognized tribe through a land trust. And so the lawyers went to work on it.
One of the things that I'm really struck by in the way that the Segorte Land Trust talks about and thinks about land is that this is something about all people in Oakland.
The way that we work is having reciprocal relationships with the people who are there.
Not just feel like this world is yours, this world is mine. It's this world is ours.
One thing I had to learn in my own recovery was I had to learn about forgiveness, because I did have an issue with my own upbringing, and I had a lot of resentment towards my own father. I was never told I love you. I never heard those words, I love you. Once I got into my own recovery and I had to kind of, look at my life, step back and look at the big picture, and I realized, that's what I was looking for, was that love, I love you. And I had to learn to forgive him, because after I started thinking that and I went to his past and beyond that, the thing is that he was treated the same way, so that's all he knew. He didn't know how to say I love you. A lot of this stuff, goes back to that historical trauma.
When I first started working here, Carol Irvin called me into her office and I just said, Carol, what do you want me to do here? And she told me a little story about when she was a child growing up in Northern California and going to an Indian Health Service clinic up there. And her family would pull into the driveway and there was weeds growing all over and garbage and there was graffiti on the building, and she kept thinking, are they taking good care of us? And she told me, she goes, Sonny, I don't ever want our patients to feel like that. I took it to heart and I've carried it all these years, and I want that to reflect the minute they pull in the driveway and to feel the healing start there.
See, these organizations, the governing bodies, were all indigenous, local Indian people, and that really set it apart.
I'm tickled, really happy to have you folks here and have the meeting that we had this morning, where I hear they want to record and not forget where we come from, because that's so important. Hopefully it keeps the spirit of what started something alive.